Everyone, it's the 19th of April. This is the Man Show, episode 4. In the house today, we've got in the top left, we've got Brian Lovell, B Love. Below him, we've got that's Brian with an I, and Matty Ho. Rounding out the bottom right, I'm Cliff Bassett, be the kind of the host today, I guess, kind of leading us off. Got a couple of topics we're going to go over today. But before we get started, I thought we would Trump check. States came out today, huh?
Woo! That's right. For some
Trump
people,
check.
anyway.
Trump check, yeah.
Well, you guys all look happy. I got a frown on, but go ahead.
Did you have to pay, Matt?
We'll talk about that when Cliff brings up the topic.
Brian, how about you, man? That thing come through okay? Didn't bounce, did it?
Oh, for me, I was actually surprised. It's funny. I go to look at my account earlier this week, and I was paying some bills or something like that, and I was like, what is this deposit for? IRS. What is this? It had been there for like 3 days.
You guys started talking about it and not supposed to get a Trump check, and I said, well, let me double check, see if I got one too. Not yet. What are you doing with your Trump check?
Well, I already tithed 10% of it.
Nice.
I did that pretty much right away. Other than that, I'm just kind of sitting on it right now. I don't know. I guess I could just set it aside to buy airline stocks eventually.
They will be coming back at some point.
Zoom
Maybe
stock.
some cruise ship stocks.
Zoom stock. Cruise ship, yeah. You might be able to buy a cruise ship.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Cruises are in trouble. But Poober, how about you?
I'm going to send mine back. Back to the government. All $500.
Like on purpose, or is there a particular reason?
No, I don't know. It's definitely going in savings. Because, I'm conflicted because I've heard both stories that A, you are going to have to pay it back on your next tax return, and then B, you won't have to pay it back at all. So I'm a little confused on the story. I haven't heard a straight story yet.
I've heard you do not have to pay them back. You don't.
Yeah, I've heard that too. But then initially, maybe something changed in the law. I mean, I'm not going to read a 900-page bill to find out.
Right.
But there was something in there that said that, on the following year, depending on your income, it would be basically deducted from what you would have gotten as a refund if you were to do a refund.
Okay, I gotcha. I heard it was free and clear, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, and it may be. I mean, it may be. Either way, we're kicking the can down the road to our kid. Your kids are going to pay for this.
Right. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what is what either. I heard somewhere that the first 1,200 you would pay back through your 2020 tax return.
Yeah, there's a third story.
What's that?
That's a third story, so compared to what I've heard.
Well, it's kind of like the fact that this whole thing was put in place and nobody knows how it really works. It was rushed out there so quickly without all these I's being dotted and T's being crossed. And whenever you're talking like spending trillions with a T, that can't be good. I mean, wow. Like you just said, kicking the can down the road for our kids' future and grandkids. I mean, $1 trillion. I mean, if you were just to take $1 bills, $1 trillion $1 bills, and just stack them on top of each other, I wonder how high just $1 trillion $1 bills would be.
Yeah.
And then, kind of along the same lines, did you get? I'm guessing you guys heard about that one proposal. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, where they want to give every American, what was it, $2,000 a month for at least 6 months, and then redo it for another 6 months if things didn't get better yet.
Wow.
So if you start doing the math on that, you're talking trillions of dollars in 6 months. Mm-hmm. And the fact that some of the politicians, I think it's the squad, one of the squad members came up with this one, but are even thinking that? I mean, economics doesn't care. You're just going to kill the country.
Yeah, and there's no income to back it up. Like you said, where does the money come from? Normally, a tax stimulus or a tax rebate or some sort comes from an overage from the taxpayer. Right. Well, we have 25% of our workforce not paying, well, probably more than that. There's 25% not working. the normal level is about 50% of people that don't pay taxes and income tax. So the 50% that do pay into income tax, how many of those are not working? And that is the income for, the federal budget. So if they're not working, that money can't come back.
Right.
What are your thoughts on the economy bouncing back? Does it open up and does it bounce back, or does it take some? Do people do what you're suggesting? They take the money, not spend it, put it in their savings account. When they go back to work, they don't spend the money again. They say, hey, I don't want to get caught short, and they start saving money. And by saving money, restaurants are open, but nobody's eating at them, and car lots are open, but nobody's buying cars. Do you think that's what happens, or do you think people, it's only been a couple of weeks, and by the time it reopens, people go back to their normal spending habits?
So I got a couple of thoughts on that. I think that you got two different groups. There maybe is more than that. If you guys have some thoughts on that, let me know. But there's families like, say, ours, meaning my family. I don't necessarily need, we don't need that money. I'm making the regular income that I would be making any other time right now. But I also work in a business that can be very volatile at times based on the economy. So right now, I'm a save it because I don't know if I'm going to need it down the road.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that there are families that right now are out of work that took that money they got this week and went and bought groceries.
Right.
Now I think the other thing too is, if you've been watching the news, so you saw unemployment claims last week were 5.2 million. The 2 weeks before that were around 6.2 to 6.6 million. So over 22 million people have filed for unemployment in the last 4 weeks. I was actually encouraged that number went down this past week. And I know you're like encouraged, 5.5 million people. But I think what's going to start to happen is, as small businesses continue to get those payroll protection loans, which I know they kind of ran out of money on Thursday. Rumor on the street is they'll have some money freed up again probably this week, that people will start getting back to work. Because a couple of the provisions of that is, one, and Matt, I think you applied for this as well, so you could tell us probably better than anybody, but one, you have to retain 90% of your employees.
Right.
And two, you have to spend 75% of that loan on payroll. So I think that you had employers who, in my opinion, did the right thing by their employees, and they laid them off instead of furloughing them. Because by laying them off, they can at least take advantage of unemployment, which, by the way, has been extended and has been increased, than normal, instead of furloughing them. So a lot of those folks a lot of those 20 million, 22 million people who've already filed unemployment, they're going to be getting back to work in the next week or two.
Right. Well, to back up earlier to one of the things you said, which was you took that money and you're going to save it because you may need it in the future. But the other part of that equation to think about is, like Cliff was bringing up, when things open back up, because you're still making your same income and everything else, let me guess, one of the first things you're going to do is you're going out to a restaurant, but you're going to do that out of the money you're currently making anyway. So to Cliff's original question, which was, does the economy start coming back? Does it not? What are people going to do? People like yourself who have been working the whole time, even though they're saving that money, you're going to pump money back into the economy by going down to Outback or Charlie's or Ruth's Chris or whatever the day they open, because we've missed it so much. And so, the beginning question that Cliff raised was, does the economy come back, and does it come back quickly? Good question. I tend to think right now that, I think you're going to get a quick bump because people are going to be dying to get out of their house and do anything. And we'll have to see how it shakes out in 6 months from now.
I think it'll come back in segments too. Listen, I think that when this opens up, I feel like people are still going to be afraid to go to large gatherings.
Yep.
Like, I'm going to think twice about going to Ray J, or I'm going to think twice about going to the Trop and seeing the Rays. Although I really, really would love to, concerts, big gatherings, things like
Disney
that.
World,
I'm going to think twice about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but hey, by the way, speaking of opportunity, Matt, you brought up dining out. Hey, listen, I've been taking advantage of some opportunities to buy gift cards, because like all of these restaurants are doing these deals. If you buy a $50 gift card, get an additional $20 gift card on top of it. Like a couple of weeks ago, Fleming's had one. Buy a $100 gift card, get an additional $40 gift card. That's a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah.
We had Cheesecake Factory on Friday night. They were running a deal like that too. I believe it was $50. You got an additional 10, right? So I think, if dining out is one of your normal activities, why not go take advantage of some of those gift cards right now and use them later?
Yeah.
Well, breaking news, Cheesecake Factory just went out of business.
So you're stuck with gift cards. Good to know where.
Yeah, I mean, it really didn't, but that was my thing. I was getting at it. You buy all these gift cards and half the restaurants go out of business.
Don't go buy an
right?
AMC movie theater gift cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear they're hurting.
That's a bad investment right now.
Yeah, they're close to BK.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if they file 11 or 13, but they're probably going to be done.
Cliff, did you get a Trump check?
Who?
You.
No, I looked every day. Every day. Everybody's talking about they're getting their Trump checks. They're getting smaller, but I said, let me check, man. And no, nothing here.
Well, did you file direct deposit or did you file by mail?
I filed direct deposit, and of course, I've already filed last year's taxes, and I don't think that's going to happen for me. If I had 18 taxes, possibly, maybe be a little something, but not last year.
So, Lovell, you got a check for your whole family or just for the kids or what?
I don't really know how it broke out. I mean, like I said, I had done the calculator online and wasn't expecting anything.
Well, because I didn't get like an itemized list of like, well, you got this, and then we deducted this much because you made more than this. But it wasn't and of course, I didn't know about, the $500 per child.
Right.
I think for whatever reason, the 17-year-olds are excluded. I don't know why, but anyway. So, and then the fact that we had foster kids last year or in the year before, whether or not that was going to factor into. So I think we just got money for 2 children. So it's $1,000. And then we didn't get the full $1,200 each, but it was somewhere less than, it was 20. It was total of 3,000. So maybe $400 less.
What?
What?
Mine was like 800.
You must
Now
have
I'm
just got
pissed.
0.
You claim the kids, right?
Yes, of course.
Oh wow, I can't help that. Well, that's what I mean. So I don't know if I got money for 3 kids or just 2 kids and then us. So like I said, there's no itemized list. If any IRS agents are watching, please send me an itemized, receipt of what I got in my stimulus check.
Well, it won't count Kristen for me because she's 18 now and, in college, but she's still my dependent. I still claim her as a dependent.
Right.
And because I claim her as a dependent, she doesn't qualify for any, for most grants or other, like, what do you call those things? Scholarships. That all goes against her. But they're all, but this I don't get any credit for. And
Correct.
How does that, it's a.
Well, because she's an adult, but yeah, she's your dependent. So she doesn't get any money because she didn't file a tax return, and you don't get money for her because she's an adult dependent.
Yeah.
That's that. I did know that. But the other thing was, the 17-year-old rule, it was the 17-year-olds weren't going to get it, but I don't know if that was when they were 17 last year, turning 18 this year, which would make them an adult. So you're not going to get that money. Or if it was, they were 16 and when they turn 17, they don't get the, so that's what I mean. There's not a whole lot of guidance on that. Again, it's there. I'm happy I've got it. We'll use it for whatever we can to stimulate the local. Bought some plants yesterday, spent $400 in plants at the local nursery. Didn't go to the big box store.
Was it Kirby's?
TV is at Sam's for like $16.99.
No, they reduced. Costco had one an 82-inch, reduced it to $11.99 on the button.
What are you still doing here? Get over there.
I should go get that TV. I need that TV.
Well, I don't need a TV. I've got a TV.
It's not the 86.
Oh, the one I saw, this was Costco, not Sam's. Costco had a 82-inch that was normally $1,800, reduced it to $11.99 the day the Trump check started coming. So, which the normal issuance, the normal stimulus check for a single adult would be $1,200. So it was the exact amount. That's the whole purpose.
Okay. Yeah. Smart.
I got
It's
zero.
genius.
I got 0 Trump check dollars, and I got 0 PPP dollars, despite being about the first person in America to file.
The
Matt, what
paycheck
happened
protection.
to the PPP?
Well, I filed it. I think I told you guys last time. 10 minutes after it opened, I had my application in. I go through Bank of America. I got called from them saying, "Hey, we got your application. We'll let you know. We'll be in touch." I uploaded all the paperwork they asked for and never heard a word since. The whole program apparently ran out of money, and they forgot my bank account number.
So I have heard a lot about this week, and I happen to have a couple of friends who are in the banking business that are doing this type of lending right now. And what I'm taking away from what the conversations I've had so far, if you were working with a big bank, your Chase, your Bank of America, your SunTrust, you probably did not get your application through. But if you were working with a local bank, like a Bank of Tampa, like a Valrico State Bank, I don't even know that that's in business anymore, but those who were working with like some local banks, they got approved and they got through. What these big banks did, I think, is they created a funnel for these applications to come through, but they didn't have enough manpower for people to actually work on them, and the money was gone. But I also heard from some of those same sources that, some of these businesses, have like multiple businesses underneath them, like you have the Walt Disney Company, and then the Walt Disney Company has like all of those different affiliates under. Like, right. I'm just using them as an example because obviously they wouldn't qualify for this, but companies who did it like that, some of them got multiple loans.
Oh, for each division or each under company?
Correct.
I got you.
Correct.
And here I am with a goose egg.
And if you remember the max, I believe the max that you could get was 10 million. So if you were one of those companies that had, like something set up, a subsidiary, you got $20 million. Boom, money gone.
I didn't even get the cost.
Now, my local congressman posted on Facebook that he's headed back to DC to fix all that. So we'll see.
Local congressman got an email from me earlier this week.
Who did?
Ross Spana.
Oh, yeah.
So you tell me if I'm wrong on this, okay?
Yep.
Clifford was supposed to go to Honduras on a missions trip over spring break. The day before or 2 days before they were supposed to leave, the State Department comes out and says, travel advisory, don't go to Honduras. They have COVID. We advise against it. So, the church says, listen, we're not going to send them. We're going to do what we can to get your money back. Everybody that participated, that partnered with us, gave us our money back, except for American Airlines. American Airlines says, no, we're not going to give you your money back. So they had bought the tickets to a travel agent. Travel agent tried to get a refund, wouldn't do it. I called travel after they put the credit in Clifford's name. I called American Airlines myself. American Airlines says, I emailed them because I called them and they said that's not the best way to do it. Contact me. I did the email, and then they said, no, we got a response says, no, we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to give you a credit in your son's name, and it's going to be valid until like December 2021, something like that. Okay, well, here's my problem. And I told him that that credit wasn't going to work for me. Number one, we had no travel plans, especially for him. And number two, how am I going to possibly use a travel voucher for a minor, by himself? It just doesn't work for. And then finally, I just don't use American Airlines. I don't find them to be convenient. They don't go where I want to go. They're overpriced for most of what I do. But that's beyond the. I guess that's a choice. I would have a voucher for that. But so I emailed Congressman Spano and I said, hey, these guys just got a $50 billion bailout. I didn't get any of that. It seemed like the right thing to do. And I didn't ask for a refund until after they got the money. I made sure they were getting paid. They got paid, and I said, hey, I'd like to have a refund. And I said, I'm asking you for help. Talking to Ross now. I said, hey, I'm asking you for help. So
Hear anything back?
I haven't heard anything back from him. Of course, he's, flying back, I guess, but what do you think? I'm not wrong, I don't think, asking for a refund.
No, but I mean, they're not completely wrong, but for offering a voucher either. I mean, you've got a valid point about the minor business. He can't possibly use that by himself, although the idea is, he would he been able to use it by himself the first time?
No, he wasn't using it by himself. He was going with a group and chaperones and everything else.
Group with chaperone, yeah.
Yeah,
well, let me ask you
I
this.
certainly think that that's a special circumstance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
did the flight actually go?
So the flight did go, and I think the flight needed to go because you had people that lived in Honduras that were here in the United States that had to go home.
Right.
But,
maybe repatriated.
Yeah, if he had gone, they would have had to change their flights to come back because at that point it was during the week that they were telling people come home, and because they were going to close the borders. Probably would have cost me more at that point. Who knows with these guys?
Are you wrong for asking for a refund? No, you're never
absolutely
wrong
not.
for asking for it, but
No.
I don't even know there's a but here. Whatever. It's tough. Noah's in the same boat, but we didn't hear anything back on any refunds from anybody for anything. So I'm assuming it's all gone.
But they should. I mean, all those airlines, all the travel agencies, all the VRBOs and the hotels and whatever should be working with all their customers to get that money back to them. That's
So I'm going to remember that, even if nothing happens, I'm going to remember this when the economy reopens. When the economy reopens, I remember American Airlines did not take care of the customer. And I don't know where I'm going to go first when all this happens. But, I'm going to go. So we were supposed to be in Waco this week.
yes.
Yeah.
What's your first destination that you go to when this is all open and done?
Nice question.
Well, for me, hopefully it's to the Bahamas. We already have plans to go in mid-June for our 20th anniversary. So hopefully this comes, it's the reins get loosened here so we can go.
How are you getting to the Bahamas? Are you flying or are you sailing?
We are flying. Yes, with Bahama Air.
My first one is Big Cat Rescue.
Yes.
That's where I'm going.
All right.
No airline tickets needed. They're right here in their own backyard.
There's a fantastic Ruby Tuesdays right around the corner from that.
I'm getting some of the Big Cat pizza. Or no, that was the other zoo.
That was in Oklahoma.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted the Big Cat pizza.
Tiger pie.
We already have a couple of things booked. So we have and we'll see, we'll be driving, but we've booked a weekend oceanfront in Cocoa Beach for Memorial Day weekend. So I'm hoping so long as the beaches are opened up, we'll be able to make that happen. Even if the restaurants are, I think we'll be able to figure that out. But at least if the beaches are open, we'll be able to make that happen. And then I would guess we're going to probably be going to Disney World pretty quickly with the kids. With the kids. But outside of that, I would like to rebook that Waco trip. I got a belt buckle and everything.
Yes.
I saw the picture.
You guys saw I wore the belt and the belt buckle in honor of the day we were supposed to be flying to Waco. I sent you all that picture on Thursday.
That was terrific.
That was nice.
Hey, I made that belt buckle look good. I'm just saying.
Pooh didn't wear his, and do you know how I know he didn't wear it?
Because left it at your house?
Left it at my house. It's still here.
I don't have a belt buckle.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, man. So
I will tell you this, though. I think going back to the vacation question, Cliff, I think that people, after being isolated and in their homes for as long as we've been, and by the way, I think we're about halfway through. That's my guess. I think we'll still be doing this middle of May. People are going to be ready to go somewhere. They're going to get out and they're going to go. Yeah. And I think that, we were talking about the economy, getting back to sorts. I think people are going to be ready to do something. I think they're going to be picky or particular about what they do, but I foresee a lot of vacations on the horizon.
Yeah. We have a VRBO at Lake Martin, Alabama, that we have to make a decision on May 1st. that's our cutoff day to get our refund if we're not going to go, and a couple of days later we have to pay the rest of it if we do go. So we're really struggling to find to decide. I'm gonna call the owner, I think, and ask him, hey man, do you want to extend the the deadline on this decision making, because we really do want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would almost be in their best interest to do it. I mean, I understand the reason for the policy currently in place.
Yeah.
But this is a different time.
Mhm.
I mean, look at the major hotels, because I'm a business traveler. I travel a lot. All of them right now are allowing cancellation the day of. Even
Wow.
if you booked one of those reservations, that's a non-cancelable one. They're all allowing it.
Wow. Hey, Lovell, are you watching on the YouTube stream?
I am, yeah.
Do we have any viewers with questions?
Yeah,
Or
Javi is up.
what up, Hav?
Javi!
Yep.
Yep.
Javi's up. There's only a couple of people viewing right back now, but nobody's really chatting.
We don't want to lose our leave our loyal followers out of the loop here.
That's loyal follower. Singular.
Both of you.
Both of you.
Yeah.
Both of you.
Well, I guess
Earlier this week we went to Chick-fil-A, and I noticed that the staff there in the drive-thru all had themed respirators on, homemade masks. They were looking like cow. They had cow print. They had some with the waffle fries on them and stuff. And I was inspired about possibly making my own custom mask. So I've made a few, and I think you guys made a few as well.
I did 1 or 3.
Huh?
I made 1 or 3.
You made one or three? So I also caught a few on the interwebs out of memes, and this was one of my favorites that I saw initially. This one here is this one's just called a coffee filter. As you can see there, it's literally a coffee filter that says coffee filter. And I presume it would work. It's got full coverage of the nasal and the mouth area here.
let's hear you cough.
And it's a filter.
Okay, so maybe it doesn't work.
Oh,
Hey,
need
but
a
it
little
is a filter.
modification.
Might need a few tweaks.
Yes, I think it was pretty effective. Nice. Who else?
I'll start with one. This is the one I call. No, I just dropped one on the floor. It's the one I call the train robber. I've seen this one actually in use at Walmart the other day.
Did the guy using it have a handful of stuff and was walking out the door with no bags?
But what I find amazing is that you can walk into a bank right now dressed exactly like this, and no one's gonna say another word.
Everybody's
Right.
gonna be okay with it.
Okay, So great train robber. That's what I call this one.
Nice.
Oh.
That's a good looking one. Makes you look better.
I bet it does.
All right, I got one. I didn't make it, but I think it was a good use for one. So I got some funny looks at it when I went out to Lowe's and was wearing it, but this is it here. So I thought it was pretty good.
That's a strainer.
I thought it was pretty good. The breathing in it, it's not bad. It doesn't fog up your glasses. I mean, it really works pretty well.
There might be a few holes in your theory.
What's wrong? I mean, it's not 100% effective, but come on. See what?
Does it smell like pasta?
It had a little pasta in it. I got a snack on the way. It was perfect. That was mine.
Man, I got nothing. I have my mother-in-law made masks for the family. I gotta get. By the way, I wore this the other day. Actually, I wore it today too to
Oh,
Publix.
that's pretty.
But I think this is made out of some curtains, some old curtains.
That was made out of a TGI Fridays tablecloth.
Yes.
But here's the thing: I wore this to Lowe's. I wore it to Lowe's yesterday, and I wore it to Publix today. It's really hot.
Yes, they are.
Like your face sweats.
And all that moisture you're normally getting away from your mouth and out is now trapped right there, and you're breathing it right back in.
Yeah, nice.
This is pretty quality construction. It's even got like a little like bendy thing, like aluminum bendy thing here in the nose, so it'll wrap around your nose.
Nice.
And it's got like this little cutout right here that you can put, you know,
That's not for your nose.
something in.
I think you're wearing it wrong. Did your mother-in-law got that for you or your wife?
Oh boy, weird family.
Peter, what else you got?
You got another one?
Well, yeah, I got a few here. You know, my mother made some as well. She stopped by and brought those by. This is my second favorite one here. This one, you know, we're here down here in the South, and we get a lot of Southern girls that like to monogram things. So I figured this would be a one for them. And kind of monogram. We got the burlap stuff here, right? So this is another N95 coffee filter, but we got the burlap bow with the monogram here. And if you're wondering whose monogram this is actually for Carol Jane Baskin.
Ah, so that's a
C
tiger
is
mask.
The J and then the B is Carol Jane Baskin.
Nice.
Right?
Let's hear your roar.
Meow. Hey, you cool cats and
Hey
kittens.
there, cats and kittens.
Yeah,
Nice.
cool cats and kittens.
That's a good looking one.
Yeah.
So, hey, my next one is actually doubles as a public service announcement. Okay, because there are unverified reports on the internet. So I'm assuming it's true. I have no evidence that this is true. That a bounty, and bounty only, that a bounty paper towel is just as effective as an N95 mask.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Not Brawny, not, you know, Publix brand or Walmart brand. It has to be a bounty one. So here we go. This is my bounty. So if you're in a pinch, this is my bounty N95, you know, just as good mask right there.
So it's a
Equally
paper
good
towel.
for bank robbing, like the other one.
Decorated it for everyone.
Yeah. Now, was that study done by the Bounty Corporation?
The stash.
It was. I think it was done by some guy named Joe, and I'm sure it's authentic, and you know probably had all the most you know the highest testing standards were implemented.
Yeah.
Well, now was Bounty the one that had the lumberjack, the Paul Bunyan guy?
No, it's Brawny.
That was Brawny. Yeah.
Brawny's the quicker picker upper. You know, with the potatoes under the sink, and you know they run it under the faucet, and they don't break.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Now I'm thinking about potatoes.
All right.
I've got one more to share if you guys don't have another one. And
Go
this
ahead,
one,
I'll go
this
for
one
it.
came to me Wednesday when I got my Trump check. It's just money.
Now he's
He's
just
just gonna
he's killing me.
cover up there. It's got full coverage again.
Wow.
I mean,
Man, I hope you dipped that in bleach beforehand.
it's like Andrew Jackson's talking to you right there.
Again, let's see the cough.
I did. That's coughed. It was
Okay.
perfect. It stayed on there.
All right.
Hey, I do have one more. And Lovell doesn't know this, but when he wasn't paying attention, I took this one off his shirt.
Fantastic.
He can't turn around. There's a big hole.
There's lovely turn around. There's a hole in the back.
There's a hole in my shirt.
That is a good looking one. I've got one more too.
All right.
I didn't make it, but I've repurposed this for the current, you know, situation. So hold on.
Oh, is that what I think it is?
Come on, man.
There you go.
I'm hoping that's,
Is that a
I'm hoping that's not used.
There you go. And watch this.
That's not me. That was
You didn't turn your head. You gotta turn your head and cough with that. There you go.
No problem.
Matt wins. Matt wins.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, I'll take that chicken dinner.
Right there.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
So there we go.
Hey, that belongs to somebody else though. It's got his name on it there.
Well, it's nobody's now.
Oh my goodness. Wow, that made my gut hurt. Hey, by the way, Cliffy,
Yo.
Javi wanted me to make sure that you knew that Diamond Hill is open.
Dude, Javi has my number. I have been waiting to play with him. I called. We went and played once this year, And then he donated his Yeti to me because he left it in my truck and couldn't get it back. And so I appreciate that. Thank you, Javi. And then I called him. I said, hey, let's play again, blah, blah, blah. No, nothing. I got nothing back from him.
Well, you have to take separate golf carts, right? 6 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad has still been playing once a week, and it's one person per cart, and the holes they've got them, the cups lifted up so your ball just hits the rim of the cup instead of going down in it, so you're not like reaching your hand down in it picking it up.
Oh my gosh.
And you can't remove the flag stick. And all of the, I believe he said, like all of the like bathrooms, you know, there's a bathroom on each front and back nine, are like there's an attendant there.
Where's he playing at?
I'm not really sure.
What's he paying for? Are they watching? What's going on there?
To clean the restrooms and the door handles, but he said like all of like the ball washers on each hole are saran wrapped shut. You can't, you know, they've got anything that you would use your hands to touch, they've got locked down pretty much.
What about the apples? Are the cold apples on the course still?
Oh, I bet not.
I've never been to a course that had cold apples on it.
I used to play a lot. We used to go to the courses and we'd rate all the courses by the hot dogs you'd get at the turn, how good the hot dogs were.
Well, that's a quality, measurement of a golf course right there.
It's important.
Oh, yeah. You get the it's got the stale buns, you know, they're old and dry. It's you got to get the fresh buns. You got to get the hot dog just right, not all shriveled up. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, and they can't give you just a little like ballpark ones. You got to get the big freaking
Costco
huge
quarter pounders.
If they're not giving you that, not cool, man.
No.
That's how you.
I'm willing to play. I'm ready to play. I've got nothing but time.
Well, Diamond Hill, that's not that far, and gosh, that used to be a lot of fun when there was no houses around it.
Oh my gosh,
it was a little easier.
Yeah, it's all built up now.
Hobby has one of those houses.
Yeah, well,
you say you got nothing but time, or I forgot you only work like twice a week.
Hey, we had a good fire yesterday. So we had a trailer. It was an RV parked next to in between two sheds. By the time we got to one of the RV was on fire, the shed was on fire, and then nobody knew who owned the RV. It's like nobody knows who owns this thing. It's been here for years.
Brian Cranston.
Meth lab, yep.
Yeah. So anyway, investigator came out, and next thing you know, it turned out there's a little neighborhood squabble going on. And the night before, somebody may or may not have said something about "I'll burn your house down," and next thing you know, there it is. So
really?
yeah,
that's some Tiger King plotline stuff right there.
So somebody was living in the RV.
So yeah. Right along the same caliber,
This was in Gibsonton?
Riverview, out by
Gibsonton.
the end of Big Bend Road.
Close enough.
Yeah, exactly.
It's on the border.
Wow.
Within walking distance of the Lobster
It's a
Boy's
par
house.
5 away. It's a par 5 away.
Oh gosh. Too much.
Wow.
So did you even get out of the truck though?
I did. So I was the first one there, and it was
Watching
like
it.
400 feet off the road. I couldn't even see what was on fire when I first got there. So I had to go down the dirt driveway, to get to it. And I'm like, oh yeah, here it is. So, our regular hand lines are only about 200 feet long. So we had to extend them, called a courtyard. So I helped them pull the courtyard, man the valves on. I was full on like old school, it was like back in the day.
Oh, nice.
Did your bunker gear fit?
Oh, well, listen, I did. I may not have put it in the bunker. I didn't get that close. Opening a valve is not exactly the same as spraying the water. So,
Guys, there's a fire over there.
Is it?
Sure is.
Does it still have the tags?
Yeah, no, I took the tags off, man. I was supposed to take a physical agility test, and then I had to stop testing because of COVID. So now I haven't done that. I'm gonna send you guys a picture here in just a minute. It's this was sent to me yesterday by a friend.
Okay.
and it's a picture taken has to be minimum 10 years ago. Brian, you can show it if you want. I can't get it on the screen.
Do I have the picture?
He will in a second. Hold on. Gotta find the right group with Brian Level in it. And boom.
Hey, my wife gave me a COVID cut today.
Yeah, she sure did, didn't she?
She trimmed up the sides with the Doogie Fletch thing. I didn't let her cut the top.
Didn't let her. I don't let him cut the top on mine either, man, because it doesn't grow back.
What the heck kind of picture is that?
So that's like a 5,000 gallon tanker of gasoline that was just burning on the side of it caught fire on the side of the interstate. There's no way we need I don't know how many gallons of foam to put that out. Hundreds of gallons of foam, and there was nothing we could do except just sit there and watch this inferno just burn. It took like 2 or 3 hours for it to burn out.
You guys are just sitting there in front of an inferno doing selfies. Nice.
Yeah.
I got you. I'm gonna get this thing up here in just a second.
Yeah, we had
Screen
a
share.
little gasoline tanker. By the way, it was raining burning gas down on top of us, and we had another gasoline tanker that was stocked on the interstate right next to all this. And so we decided we had to get that out of there. So we used the engine as a shield and drove it, through the fire and get it out. So
There you go.
there it is. Hey, funny thing about this picture is I don't remember standing in a hole when that picture was taken. So
Nice.
Who's the other fella?
that is Josh Greco, and man, he's a great guy. I didn't work with him for that long, but man, we ran some great calls together. I mean, some calls that like we haven't duplicated. Like I've never run another gas tanker like that, and we had some other. It's another medical call I'll tell you guys about later, but
Yeah, when we're not live.
That's awesome. Good time.
It's not gonna make you lose your job.
Yeah, exactly.
So, does anybody have any interest in this episode, the series coming up, The Last Dance, about the Chicago Bulls?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
I'm
So
slightly intrigued.
I've got the DVR set to record the first 2 episodes tonight. I can get into that era of the NBA. That was like my era of the NBA. I don't know what they do now.
Yeah, I don't know either. I watched quite a bit of basketball back then too. So we'll see.
Yeah, what year was their last championship?
That I don't know. I'm not that big of a basketball fan.
I think in late 80s.
No, it was definitely in the 90s.
Yeah, it's definitely in the 90s. I'm thinking maybe 98.
What?
No?
Yeah, no, it's probably in the late 90s.
And when is that? That starts tonight?
Yeah, it's a 8 or 10 part series. Starts tonight. Yeah, 98 was their last championship. They won 91, 92, 93, 96, 97, 98. If you're not sure when Michael Jordan retired, I'm guessing it was 94.
Oh.
When he went to play baseball.
Yeah, that's right. Remember that? Yeah.
I do remember that.
You always forget about Jordan playing baseball.
Huh?
I said you always forget about Jordan playing baseball.
Yeah, I saw him play.
Or am I
Yeah, it was the
attempting
98
baseball?
championship. That's what the series focuses on.
Oh, it's only on the 98?
97, 98 Bulls.
Okay, I thought it was on the whole 90s dynasty.
Yeah, so 98, yeah. That would have been right around the time I probably quit watching the NBA.
Yeah, I don't know that I ever started.
That was it. I watched through the 90s. Orlando had, Shaq and Penny.
Shaq and Penny,
And
Horace Grant.
That was exciting to watch.
Nick Anderson.
Little Penny in the commercials.
Oh, yeah. Little
Dennis
Penny was
Scott.
a great marketing scheme.
Little Penny.
Little Penny. That was good. Yep, and then Shaq left for LA. He ran for the money.
Did he go to LA first or he went to Miami first?
He went to LA.
Welcome to LA.
And it was back, NBA Jam was a huge basketball game that almost every kid our age had.
Yeah.
He played that, and it was a little 2-on-2 tournament that was fun. We were playing in the the Hoop It Up tournament that
Oh,
would
Hoop
come
It Up
around.
had the 3-on-3. Yeah.
Yes, me and Brian McLean, Scotty O, and somebody else played had a team. Anyway, Andy Reynolds.
Never an NBA
Reynolds.
I was gonna
guy.
say you had to have had Cornbread on that team.
Oh man, Cornbread was a shooter. I was just there for emergency injury purposes, really.
No, I used to watch college basketball, but never NBA.
What about football? Who watches football? Because the NFL draft is this Thursday.
This Thursday,
True.
I definitely watch football.
Who do you think?
absolutely 100% watch football.
With the first pick in the 2020 draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Tom Brady.
Yeah,
Again?
20 years later.
Why not? So, how about the Bengals? Do you think the Bengals go Joe Burrows or not?
Yeah.
I think they almost have to.
They, Chuck Noll, the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, he had a pretty successful coaching career, and he had a philosophy that he said that he always drafted the best player available. And I don't know that Joe Burrows is the number one, player out there for your team. I think there's a couple guys out there that might be like he's he's the number 2 prospect, Chase Young, probably might be a little better player. Quarterback's such a risky move to take in first overall pick. Even in say the top 10 or so, you're going to spend a fortune on them. Maybe they have the timing, maybe they don't have the timing, the chemistry. I don't know. It seems like a lineman, offensive lineman, defensive lineman that's proved themselves in college. Big guys that are fast and strong, they can slide into the NFL, be an impact player, day one. Quarterback, 50-50.
I think the thing about quarterbacks is I think quarterback is a scheme position, meaning it's going to depend on where you go and what type of offense that they run on how successful you are going to be, and I'm not claiming to be some world-class athlete, but when I played soccer, my skills didn't change, but the coach that you paired me with could change my effectiveness in a game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My skill set, my skill level was the same from, one game to the next or whatever, but depending on the team I was playing with or the coach who was coaching or what kind of scheme they ran, determined how effective I was. I think that the quarterback position is very much like that, where I would argue, like what you, whoever was saying, like a defensive lineman, playing defensive line is playing defensive line.
Yeah.
That's going to easily transfer from success in the college game to success in the NFL, in my opinion. And the quarterback is a risk. How many quarterbacks drafted in the first round are currently playing in the NFL that are starters?
Quite a few.
Quite a few.
Yeah.
Well, what's his name over in Kansas City?
Mahomes.
Deshaun Watson.
Huh?
Pretty much all of them, I would assume. Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning. Well, I guess Eli retired.
Well, look at it the other way. Tom Brady, he was what round was he?
He was a sixth-round pick.
He was 6th round. And if you remember I don't remember which one of you guys was saying it last week, but when you look at Tom Brady and you said he's always been successful in one system.
Right.
Maybe that catered him. We're going to find out how he does in a different system, right? Assuming the season ever gets going later this year. But, that'll be interesting to kind of play into this whole thing too about, do you draft, what's more important to draft? What's a player that you can guarantee? It's kind of like they say, you never pay a huge amount of money for a running back up front because their season or their career is usually so short.
3 years. Yeah. Well, and a quarterback is a risky position, but when you look at the team's needs, and the Bengals are the number 1 draft pick for a reason, because they were terrible at the quarterback position, so they need help there. So,
You think
Andy Dalton does not want to play there anymore.
Yeah.
And they don't want him playing there anymore.
What are they going to trade him?
Quarterback.
Trade him before the draft here this week?
I don't know. There was a story today I was reading that he actually may consider re-signing if they don't draft someone like Joe Burrow. So that would go to what, like Cliff was saying, if they did draft Chase Young or the offensive tackle from Iowa or somewhere. There's a left tackle that's out there supposed to be fabulous. Anyway, if they draft one of those guys instead, they could end up re-signing Andy Dalton, who does have, a pretty decent arm. He's just a decision maker, kind of like Jameis Winston. He has problems making decisions to win football games.
So the two quarterbacks that are out there, Tua obviously is the second rate quarterback out there.
Right.
They're 1 and 2. I mean, what do you think about Tua? I mean, here's a guy who, I mean, all he did was win. I mean, comeback wins, wins, and then he's been hurt so much. Is he fragile? Is he unlucky? What do you think?
I think
He's been hurt other than the most recent injury.
Oh, he's had wrist injuries. He's had all kinds of injuries. Yeah.
I think there you have a really strong case for a system that is effective at distributing quarterbacks. You can't name me another Alabama quarterback in the NFL right now. And how good has Alabama been for the last decade and a half?
Mm-hmm.
That is a system that produces quality quarterbacks in the college game. Nick Saban's system makes quarterbacks look amazing. Part of that has to do with the skill positions who are receiving the ball. There was something, Randy Moss had something yesterday. He was on social media. They were talking about how maybe it was his birthday or something. Anyway, they're showing a bunch of his best catches. And I'm looking back going, who are these quarterbacks? Dante Culpepper and Randy Moss were on the most prolific offense in all of football. They had that record for like 15 or 20 years. Nobody ever talks about Dante Culpepper because he wasn't that good of a quarterback. Randy Moss made Dante Culpepper look fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jerry Jeudy and Julio Jones and the Armani Cooper and the rest of the litany of Alabama skill position players make those quarterbacks look amazing. From Hurts to going back to AJ McCarron and whoever else they run back there. It just they don't translate into the NFL game much.
AJ McCarron, did he get drafted by the Bengals?
McCarron? He may have. He actually may be still on somebody's roster because it's only been 5 or 6 years, and he's probably got a backup spot somewhere. Was it AJ McCarron? Is that his name?
Yeah, that's right.
Somebody look it up on the Google web.
Well, that's kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier about the position that's toughest to transfer from college to the NFL is the quarterback position.
He's currently the backup to Deshaun Watson in Houston.
Okay.
He was drafted by the Bengals in 2014.
What do the Bucs do? A lot of rumors about the Bucs maybe trading up. Do you guys hear anything about that?
I have not, but that'd be great if they can secure one of these offensive linemen.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what they're talking about. They need an offensive lineman. Tom Brady, they're going to have to protect. They didn't do a lot of it in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think their first 3 picks, regardless of where they end up with, if they trade or whatever, first 3 picks need to be offensive lineman, a running back, and then another quarterback to groom for the future.
Is OJ Howard being traded away?
Possibly.
I mean, that's what I heard this week, right?
It's a possibility.
OJ Howard, what?
Being traded away for value.
So it's interesting to say that because earlier this week I saw an interview and they were interviewing Cameron Brate, who is great. But anyway, I mean, I think, if you're the you're the TV station and you call the Buccaneers and you're like, hey, who can we interview about this subject, whatever, I forget even what it was about. I was looking at it as, look, Cameron Brate is the interview guy for the Buccaneers right now. He's going to be on the roster. They don't need OJ Howard and Cameron Brate. So I really think that OJ Howard, I think you may be right on that. OJ Howard's on the outside looking in. He's got some value to him. I mean, the guy's got legit skills. He's got legit size. Turn freaking lights off.
He's got aliens.
No. Anyway,
Well, Leonard Fournette is also on the market, according to the Jaguars or Adam Schefter today. So that could be a possibility. The Bucs trading OJ Howard to the Jaguars. I think he has more value than Leonard Fournette at this point.
I would have to think that the Jaguars are looking for draft picks.
Yeah, I think so too.
They're going to move Fournette. It ain't going to be for another player. They're trying to move Fournette because of payroll and to get picks.
Yeah, and I think he's due $21 million this year. So
Something like that.
that's not going to go well with somebody like the Buccaneers. They don't have $21 million to waste on a running back.
no,
And they still have Ronald Jones and some others.
Ronald Jones does not catch the ball very well. And
No,
Tom Brady loves to throw to running backs.
Yeah, he's a compliment back.
Yeah.
So there, the rumors there may be some room for the Bucs to draft the running back from LSU, the little guy looks like a bowling ball with three names. I can't, these hyphenated last names, I don't get it. Whatever. But he's an excellent pass catcher. He may fit well in the system if he's available at the second pick.
So the draft is this Thursday at what does it start at 8
The
o'clock?
first round is this Thursday. I believe it's at 8 o'clock.
We should go live.
Oh, absolutely. We should go live.
We should go live for that.
I mean, I'm going to watch it anyway. I've got nothing better to do.
You're stuck at home as it is.
Right. Oh, and my in-laws are coming in Thursday.
Okay.
I mean, the crazy thing about it is like it's so long between picks.
I think it's 10 minutes now. I think they it used to be 15 minutes in the first round. I thought they reduced it to 10 minutes.
I mean, it'll take 2 days to go through the first round.
Now, how long is it on TV the first night?
I'm trying to look that up right now.
Yeah, it's got to be just 2 or 3 hours. I don't know.
Well, okay, maybe we don't have to be live the whole time.
Right. All right, you take this shift. I'm taking a nap.
Wait for the Bucs pick to come in. That'll be like hopefully sometime in the early second hour. That'd be top of the second hour.
All right,
Yeah,
so
that'd be
we
nice.
could go until the pick after the Bucs.
Okay.
So that'll give us plenty of time to talk about the Buccaneers situation. We'll go until at least after the Bucs pick.
All right, I like it.
And what do we
Now,
pick
if
again?
they trade for an additional pick in the first round, we're gonna have to stick around for that other pick. We're gonna have to make some game time decisions.
I'm up for it.
Well, dust off my Buccaneer gear for the big show.
Ooh, yes. Good plan.
You're going to alienate all your West Coast fans.
All the New Orleans fans and Atlanta fans and
Yep.
Carolina fans.
Hey,
Seattle
Cliff,
Seahawks fans.
Hobby says he can play on Saturday.
Oh my God, we're making. This is what our channel has come to. It's the golf appointment show.
It's where Hobby comes to play golf.
Log in to make your appointment for golf.
Tea times are us.
I can play Saturday.
There
You
you
can
go.
play Saturday.
Glad we were able to make the hookup.
Can't do it early. I gotta get off duty first. I work Friday. Get off Saturday.
Oh my gosh.
Bring your own cart. Hey, you got your own cart. You could bring your own cart.
I'm not bringing my own car.
Why not play at River Hills? Aren't you a member?
Owner.
Social member, no golf privileges. No, I could play golf, but I'm gonna pay. I'm gonna pay the guest rate, and you are good. I didn't get a Trump check, so I'm.
You gotta make less money.
Yours is coming in the mail.
Tell
It's got
Lisa
his
to take a
name on it.
demotion.
It's got his name on it.
I think it costs $75 a round at River Hills.
You gotta be
Out of that
kidding
place,
me.
huh?
It is not worth $75.
I was gonna say the golf there. I don't think is that good.
The course is actually really nice. It's in great shape. You
Oh,
know,
the
there's-
hot
nice
dogs.
It's not going to be you're going to play at your pace. There's nobody in front of you. There's nobody behind you. But that's still not worth $75.
No, it's a $35
The main
course.
event is brought to you by River Hills Golf and Country Club.
How are the hot dogs at the turn?
That was actually really good.
Okay, well, that
Yeah.
plays into it.
All beef hot dog.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. All beef hot dogs. They got actually, we just brought in some executive chef from some fancy place. I don't know. Anyway, just redid the entire menu at the clubhouse. It's really good.
Some fancy place like River Hills is not fancy.
How often do you eat at the clubhouse?
I'm sorry?
How often do you eat there?
Oh, we eat at the clubhouse about at least once a week. Since we bought it.
You're now a co-owner, right?
Sort of, the HOA owns it, so I guess somehow I'm on the hook for at least I'm a co-payer. I can tell you. I don't know if I'm a co-owner, but
co-payer, yeah. So what kind of projects you guys been working on since you've been stuck at home? Anything?
We got some landscaping done yesterday.
Yeah.
Kirsty and I did. We've had the we got curbing installed, the decorative curbing around the sides of the house, and just hadn't put any shrubbery in there. And so yesterday we went to local nursery and got a bunch of plants to put in and got some mulch. Got those in and done.
Nice.
Hopefully they'll be growing soon, and I'll get them nice little hedge going around the house.
Oh, beautiful. Got to take us on a tour.
Well, you can see it from the road, so just drive by.
Just drive by. Now you guys know I'm not the handiest of people.
You don't say.
I don't say. So, but yesterday. Projects yesterday I did some chores. Like, I trimmed up some trees here and some bushes around the pool, and up front in the front, got that looking good, and I installed some shelving in the garage.
Oh,
Yeah.
I even used tap cons.
whoa!
I
Hold on.
Did you hammer them in good?
What's that? What was that?
I said, did you hammer them in good?
I did.
Perfect.
They went in good. It took a while to do it with the hammer, though.
Yeah, well,
But I felt pretty good about it. I banged my chest when I was done.
Attaboy.
Put up a couple shelves and just reorganized the garage, and can't quite fit 2 cars in there yet, but I'll get it figured out.
Work in progress, man. Work in progress. You got time.
Yeah, I don't know. Here's a crazy thing. It's like, for me, I'm working more than I ever have. During the week, I'm probably 12-hour days. But on,
Rebuying their houses.
because you can't go anywhere on the weekends. All you got left around to do is house projects, right?
Well, Lowe's. I was at Lowe's yesterday. That place was packed.
Yeah, I was there too. I was there buying shelving.
Had to wait in line.
I was there today too.
So give me some ideas for some stuff I can do next weekend.
Second floor.
You can come paint the second story of my house.
That's going to take a little long for me to build a second story, Matt.
That's just an idea.
I'm probably going to need you to do that.
Cliff will do it. Speaking of that, hey, you see my barn out there, right there?
Yeah.
So this week, Cliff came over. Thank you, Cliff. Helped me out. 350 feet of trenching and conduit and number 6 wire, and all the way from my house out to the barn. We put it all on the ground, backfilled it, and guess what? The power is on out there.
Let me ask you a question. Now, did you use a ditch witch to lay this down, or did you hand dig it?
No, Cliff did it all. Dug it with a spade.
I did a hand dig behind the barn. There was a collapse zone. It was ditch 99%. It was about 10 feet. I had to hand dig.
Yeah. No, we ditch switched it.
I dug about 3 at it. So someone else.
It's all done now. I should walk you out there. That's my project. That whole barn out there. It's now being stained. And I went out to Home Depot, dropped a cool $700 on wire and pipe and fittings and everything else to put lights and everything out there.
Does it have air conditioning?
Oh, the wind. I got fans. There will be fans. Horses need fans, so I got fans for the horse stalls. So you want to? I would say, Lovell, you can't come help because I don't want it to burn down. But if Pooh Bear wants to come over with Cliff one day and y'all want to have fun and wire up a barn, come on over.
Listen, I can install ceiling fans. I won't burn that down.
Yeah, but the ceiling fans will fall down.
No, I can do that. I've got experience on that.
Okay.
How's the loft looking?
Huh?
How's the loft looking?
Well, I haven't done that part yet.
Is that going to be like a man cave?
That's gonna be the man event studio.
That's what I think we'll do up there. We could do that. We could, that'd be really cool. But that'll come next. I got to get the rest of it done first. But we're getting closer, almost. So that was a fun project. Cliff, you got anything going on at your house?
Well, I hate to admit it, but Lisa just informed me that the shower curtain rod I installed earlier today has fallen down.
Uh-oh.
So I knew there was a problem with it. And, it's one of those, not a straight rod, but one of the arched ones.
Oh, yeah, it comes out.
Yeah, it comes out. So, and it's, it doesn't have any tools to go up. It just mounts by tension. It's got a little,
Right.
Anyway, just wasn't working correctly. And decided to roll with it and see if it would stay up. She said it failed. So I think that's going to have to be a return and go get another one. Thanks for asking.
They
Appreciate
do
that.
make them with
Cliff he wasn't going to share that bit of news.
Well, during the pre-show, I was okay with it, but since Lisa came in and brought the piece in front of me, that's when the lights went off. She was in there showing me that the rod came down, and I said, "Oh boy." So,
I can see her too, just standing there kind of sideways and holding it up. And
yeah.
shake
your
her head.
jump fell.
She says, I should have called Pooh Bear over here to do this.
No, I don't have any better luck with those things either. Those things are awful. Matter of fact, I think one of them in Kara's bathroom is mounted like this, sides up, just because it's the only way I can get it to stay.
But it's up.
It's up. Those things are awful.
Yeah, I need another project to do next weekend. Hey, Cliff, we could brick something else.
What do you want to break? Oh, you
No,
mean
brick.
we could break something else.
Yeah,
It's a solid brick job in there, by the way.
there is a solid brick job
Yeah.
on the bar. Yeah,
Show it to us. Let's see it.
it's going to take too much work for me to disassemble all this to get in there. But
Gotcha.
I'll tell you what, I'll take a picture of it and I'll make it my background for next week's man event.
There you go. That'll be good.
Man event.
You mean Thursday night's main event?
For Thursday night's man event. What time are we going off on Thursday night?
I said we go live 8 o'clock.
All
You're
right.
gonna have some who knows? I don't know how it's gonna work because it's gonna be virtual. It's gonna be a lot like this for the draft, where normally there's a lot of pomp and circumstance, a lot of hullabaloo going on. There's guest visitors, and that's my daughter. Okay, take what you need, dear. There's gonna be a lot of visitors like that, and people a lead up before the Bengals actually make their first pick.
Right.
So there's a good 15, 20 minutes before that happens. They sing the national anthem, the Thunderbirds fly over, there's a blimp and all that, but not this year.
Who the first 5 picks? You got the
Bengals, Redskins,
Dolphins.
Falcons?
Dolphins.
Oh, Dolphins, yes. Dolphins are probably 3.
Who's 4?
It's Bengals, Redskins, Lions, Giants, Dolphins.
I feel like the Lions get a top 5 pick every year.
They do.
Thank you, Matt Millen.
I think it's mandatory. They get to play on Thanksgiving Day. They get a home game Thanksgiving Day, and they get a top 5 draft pick every year.
No matter what.
Still horrible.
And the Buccaneers pick at 14, right behind the 49ers.
Yeah, unless they trade it away for something.
They're gonna move up. I'm gonna say right. I predict they move up.
That's what OJ Howard could be used for.
Very well could.
Yeah. I think the Bengals need OJ Howard.
We're not going. We're not taking the Bengal spot.
Do you guys think that
Yeah.
after the draft is over, free agency heats up a little bit?
Oh, absolutely.
It always does.
There hasn't been a whole lot of free agency signings.
No. And a lot of it, they said it has to do with the fact that people can't get tested by doctors.
Yeah.
So the trade, matter of fact, the big trade between the Texans and the Cardinals, I think we had the receiver, fast receiver they sent over there. Anyway, that was held up until it went on for like 6 weeks because the Larry Johnson, no, the running back, Johnson. Not Chris Johnson. Sorry, his name escaped me. The running back the Cardinals traded just now got tested by his physical by a doctor. So the trade was finalized at that point. David Johnson.
Yeah, can't think of the guy's name.
I was going Donald.
Yeah. And the receiver is Deshaun. No.
That's Jackson.
Terrible. Dead air.
I'll bring Noah in here. He'll know all of them.
Probably.
He's been
They're
studying.
there. They're just,
He's ready for it. Well, the Bucks could trade up. I don't know. Maybe. Well, I guess where would they have to trade up to get a good lineman that they might want?
5 or 6.
Well, there's 3 or 4 solid offensive tackles or offensive linemen they're looking at, or at least. But there's other teams that are looking at the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there's one from Wisconsin, one from Idaho or Iowa, somewhere like that. No, Idaho, Iowa. Anyway, so there's some good talent there. It's just a matter of if the talent's going to be there where the Bucks pick.
Who's Super Bowl bound?
I mean, in the AFC? All those going in the NFC.
Because
We
we
already
know
know.
the Buccaneers are traveling all the way to Tampa for the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
Yes. They'll be the first team to sleep in their own beds the night before the Super Bowl.
Now they'll be in
Fantastic.
Pooh Bear, your haircut does look tight, man.
So she did a good job. She can, chalk that up to another one of her many skills.
Yeah.
Hair
Cut
crafter.
your hair.
Huh?
Cut your hair.
Chrissy.
Ah.
She cut me and the boy.
So
She
you
gave him some little stripes like ice what's his name? Ice Baby.
Vanilla Ice, yeah. So
This is a fresh cut right here.
you could have gone to a barber shop and supported the local.
No, you can't.
They're all closed.
All of those clothes. All right. Well, it's
No,
looking good.
I actually hit the my normal place the day before anything was shut down for unnecessary or necessary business, what they call it, essential business.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And she was already trying to stay open as long as possible by moving her chairs. Normally the waiting room, the chairs are all stacked up on top of each other. She moved them all out except for like 4. So basically you couldn't wait in there. They were getting prepared, hoping that they could do that to meet any requirement or whatever to get by. But obviously the person actually cutting your hair has to breach the 6-foot rule. So.
Hey, what do you guys think about the temporary curfew we had this past week, huh?
Oh, dude, that overstepped boundaries.
Yeah. I think it really was. It really pushed it even further. As what I don't remember which politician it was, but who said you don't need to be walking your dog or taking a walk at 9 o'clock at night. Yeah. And it's just like, dude, that's just not a good thing to say, because you're just gonna piss a lot of people off.
Right. Even if they agree with you, they're not necessarily agree with you to that point, but agree with you on everything else. There's going to come a point where people are just they're done. They're done with you telling them what they can and can't do.
Right.
That's all there is to it.
Over the edge was the fact that they have to allow the public to talk, okay, unless it's an emergency. Now, listen, on April the 2nd, they brought the same issue up and they decided not to act on it. So 11 days later, they decide, okay, we need to act on it, and we need to do it so fast that it has to be implemented right here, right now. And I said, well, where did the emergency come from, by the way? What changed in 11 days or 12 days, whatever it was, that made it an emergency now? And they could have been, a case of where people are, gathering at night, or where people are just blatantly, hundreds of people are blatantly. I think they had 42 people total, they had, issued warnings to get out. They didn't allow the public a chance to talk. That was against the rules. And, you just can't allow government to just take away your liberties like that.
Yeah.
And people are so willing to do it right now because they think it feels it's the right thing to do. oh, it's okay if we do X, Y, and Z. It's okay if we do this because it's the best thing for the public.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is going to come back later on. There's going to be something else happen 5 years from now that's a lot more minor, or maybe there's a terrorist attack, or there's a suspected terrorist attack or something. They're going to say, you know what? We have to shut down. Everyone stay in your homes. It's for the good of society.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
It's kind of like you've done it once, so now the next time it's going to be so much easier.
You're setting a precedent.
Right. And that's what I'm afraid is
Setting a
going on
precedent.
here. Because I don't understand what was the reason for all of a sudden this 9 p.m. What we had here was a 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew.
Right,
set
which
up.
already was stating the same things that you could and couldn't do with the stay-at-home order.
Yeah.
Right. And, to Cliff's point before, I don't know that there wasn't like this huge jump in cases or numbers. There was
Right.
nothing behind it to push it. And that's, we were talking last week or the week before, Pooh Bear, and you were mentioning exactly what you were just saying now, how this is an overreach and they're going against churches was part of that discussion. But I was like, I get what they're trying to do. I understood. This pushed me over the edge where I said, now you've gone too far because there's no real basis behind this. This is kind of like a power grab.
Right.
And this is not America. And the coronavirus doesn't stop or doesn't get worse between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m. And even if we could have a whole different discussion on, is any of the 6-foot rule stuff really helping or not? We talk about that another day. But that really pushed me over the edge with this whole thing. And I'm like, I am glad I bought another gun a few weeks ago. kind of where I was with this. I'm just like,
oh, that's what I'll do with my Trump check.
There you go. Shoot straight. I'd love to see you. But it was definitely too far for me, and it really got me in my gut kind of thing.
It's just sad, and it's sad to see the people that feel the need to protest. Like in Michigan, they're having the big protests and stuff going to the Capitol, and it's sad the fact that they have to do that, and it's sad that the people that are against it or feel they shouldn't be protesting are calling them names like morons and idiots and lawbreakers. And this is where we are. Seriously, I mean, as a people, you're mad at people protesting for their rights being taken away, and you're willfully giving them away. And it's just a mess. It is a mess.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's a much simpler solution than all this.
This leads to the stuff that, you go back to, why did the founding fathers make the Second Amendment in the first place, right? Well, they didn't, but why was the Second Amendment put in place in the first place, right? To protect against an overreaching government. And if you leave it to its own devices long enough, it's kind of like, the frog in the pot, right? You put him in cold water, no problem. You slowly raise the temperature. He'll sit there till he cooks and dies.
Yep.
Right? If they do it incrementally, and then that's exactly what, to me, this is, and that's why we need things like the Second Amendment to protect against stuff like that. But I was glad they turned around and repealed it, 3 days later, whatever it was, because I think they got threatened with a lawsuit, and I think they heard from a lot of people saying, "Oh, this is too much."
Chronister sent me an email asking for my opinion on it. I was like, all right, here you go.
Hey, how about Jane Castor? After they decide that we're going to go, we probably overreached on this one. She says, I want to mandate everyone wear a mask out in public. And I said, where does she not get the idea, the message? That super unpopular and unnecessary, because none of those masks, except for my homemade N95 mask, is going to protect you from anything.
Well, that's a good one, but let's not forget this one too. This one's pretty good. Yes, that is pretty good. But and speaking of, if early on, before even the emergency commission or whatever it's called voted to finally put in the stay-at-home, before they finally voted to put the stay-at-home suggestion in place, man, she was all gung-ho, trying to take people's rights away right from Jump Street. She wanted to be the first mayor in America to shut things down, and it just seems like she jumped on it too quick for my liking.
Well, that's what happens when you get a former cop. The cops love to tell people what to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, listen, what were you guys doing after 9 o'clock anyway?
Going for a walk.
I mean, I understand the premise of what you're upset about, but when was the last time you were outside of your house in the last couple of weeks at 9?
Last night.
Okay.
But it doesn't
in
matter.
about 20 minutes, I'll be tonight.
I'm saying for me, it didn't affect me.
No, it didn't really affect me either. But
That's not the point, is it?
It's not the point. The point is that you made a law or made an ordinance stating that you're free and your citizens that have liberty cannot leave their home after 9 o'clock unless it's an essential reason, which they had a small list of those, which are in a sense the same as the reasons you could do for the stay-at-home.
Right now, a run to the border is always essential, regardless of the time.
Absolutely, but they were telling you could not do that.
I think I could argue that one.
Well, you could say I am going for food and whatever, and Taco Bell was open.
Run to the
Let
border.
me tell you, the crunchy tacos at Taco Bell with the fire sauce, I just love them. I don't know, just good eat.
But listen, here's some real numbers for you. We're a state of what, 33 million people?
Okay.
I think it's around that number. We have 5,000 during this 2-month span, because the number notice how the number never changes, like goes lower. Like when they give you the number of people of cases or whatever, the people that make it back and are healthy and back to work, they don't ever come off that number. It always stays at the whatever number. So the number of hospitalizations is around 4,000. I think it was 3,700. 33 million people, 4,000, huh?
21.48 million.
21.4?
Yeah.
It's here.
That seems kind of low. I thought it was around 30. Okay. All right, I stand corrected. So 21 million people, still only have 4,000 of those that required hospitalization due to this virus.
Okay, so social distancing works.
Is it that? Because you have people that are contracting it that have had no contact. The lady that was in her apartment had an autoimmune deficiency.
I heard about that.
Did not leave her apartment and still contracted it 3 weeks in. She had been in her apartment 3 weeks and all of a sudden contracted it.
You know, and I don't know that's what I was alluding to earlier, which I said we could save for another day if we had to, but is it that the 6 feet is effective, or is that this is just the way nature's going to take its course anyway? Which is probably a very oversimplified way of saying what I'm trying to say, but I think hopefully you get the gist of what I'm saying.
There's no doubt social isolating is effective.
Yes, I agree it is, but to what extent? How many of the percentages of people that would have caught this virus that are because they were in close contact, we're still only seeing about 20% of the cases that need hospitalization, right? And none of those are at the same time. You're not going to get 20% of it at the same time. It's over a period of weeks. It's usually Boris Johnson was in the hospital for 3 days. Tom Hanks was never even checked in. I mean, you get all these examples of people that were in the hospital for a day or two, not even requiring intensive care, and we're back home recuperating, because that is the cure. Go home and recuperate. That's the cure.
For the vast majority.
For 80% of the cases.
Or more. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're one of the 20% that got it, it's not the case for you.
No, listen, you're right. But how many of those are actually passing away due to the actual virus? We've seen the stories too, that, if you died of a heart attack and you tested positive, they're going to count you as COVID-19 related.
I got this text message sent to me the other day. It said, breaking news, skydiver who forgot parachute dies due to coronavirus.
Yep.
Yeah.
I promise you, if he tested positive, they would chalk that up to that. Dr. Burke said so.
I can't wait to see what scarf she's going to wear tomorrow. It's like my favorite thing.
So did this come from a China lab?
That's the story they're pushing now, is that it may have been fabricated. Like this could have been a created virus.
Wow.
Yeah. They're going to have some big questions to answer when this is all said and done.
You're not going to get the answer. They're not going to get the
They're not
answer.
gonna answer those questions.
No, but you do have,
If the whole world starts asking questions, they might.
well, you have companies that are pulling out. Like Japan pulled all their manufacturing from China.
Good for them.
You know what scares me more than all this coronavirus stuff? Sharknado.
They making another one?
Well, no, just if it really happened.
Oh,
I'm more scared of snakes.
Snakes?
Snakes.
It's on the phone.
hold on. I may. Oh, it's probably too dark
You're
now.
never outdoors. How can you be scared of snakes?
Or maybe spiders. I don't like spiders either.
I wonder if I can do this. Hold on.
We got snake pictures.
No, I was gonna show you an actual picture. I was gonna go mobile. Hold on. Stay right there.
Okay.
This break in today's action brought to you by
Javi.
Brought by who? I was hoping
Javi
to get
says, I thought we weren't talking COVID this week.
Man, props to you, Javi, for still being here.
Listen,
Love you, buddy.
let's make a vote. Do we have Javi as a special guest on the Man Event?
Absolutely.
What's that?
I would love to have Javi as a guest.
Well, I'm talking about
Absolutely.
the draft edition on Thursday.
Okay.
Okay.
Definitely bring him in.
I think Matt's getting voted off the island.
Got to set up his own computer at his house.
What's that?
Like, bring him in. He means just turn on his own computer at his house and give him a line.
Maybe we'll do a trial run with him on Wednesday.
Does he have any Facebook followers that he can bring?
He probably has more than we do.
I bet he does too. Or he has more than I do.
Has Matt been voted off the island?
We're standing by.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's going mobile.
He's coming in with the other one.
There he is.
Okay. Can you see me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Hold on. We're going mobile.
Hope he shows you that trench I dug. I should get some credit for that.
Oh, did you mute his other camera?
I did.
Okay. I was trying to, but it looks like it's already done. Look at that twilight.
I know, man. Sorry.
Matt, we can't hear you, man.
Oh, because you muted him.
No, I just unmuted him.
Oh,
Matt, we can't hear you.
oh my goodness. What are we doing? Does he have a den of snakes he's going to show us?
Do you guys see it?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, there we go.
Is that a snake skin?
Yeah. So my
Okay.
question is, you see how big that snake skin is? It's just on the side
Yeah.
of my house here.
Yeah.
So I live wasn't here yesterday. So Lovell, I need you to come over here and do some snake hunting for me.
Nope. I'm out.
Should I be nervous?
Yep.
What kind of snake do you think that is?
That's got to be a rattlesnake.
I think it's a king cobra.
That would
Anybody
be-
identify that? Let us know.
That would be awesome.
That is definitely a black racer.
That is a good 30 inches.
Yeah.
Black snake. He won't. That's why you don't have mice in your barn.
Yes, sir.
Can we spice this up a little bit and say, like, that's a black mamba?
Don't you guys think it might be a black mamba?
Oh, it's
Don't you guys
definitely
think it
that's definitely the North American brown snake.
There you go. I better turn this one off because I'm going to get feedback.
All right. Mobile out.
Mobile out.
All right, he's back.
This field trip was brought to you by New Vista Construction.
Yeah.
And pipe laying.
and trenching and shoring.
Javi says the snake is just hiding in the water hose holder.
Oh
Hey.
God.
We're that close.
Right.
Hey, no kid, man. I know Javi has experience with this too, but when you out in the field and you're opening up like a meter box or something for an underground valve, and you open that sucker, and there's usually they're harmless, like the ring snakes, or we get a lot of them with the orange belly, and they when they're threatened, they turn upside down and start to squirm around to scare the predator. And man, you open up a meter box and you see that, and oh my gosh. If there's a camera on you, you don't want to see the footage. because there's all kinds of Indian dances and words being said and
I
things
bet.
dropping.
I bet.
Well,
man.
I'm not a fan of snakes.
Come on over, man.
All right. So Thursday night, what time are we going live?
There's
8
night
o'clock.
live, the main event, NFL draft style, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to be alerted, you need to like and subscribe to the main event. That way the alert pops up and lets you know, hey, boom.
Yeah, hit the bell.
The
Hit the
bell.
bell.
The bell is the alert.
Yep.
Yeah.
Check us out on Facebook too at the Man Event.
So what we suggest is to put on ABC or ESPN, whoever's televising the draft, put that on, put it on silent, put it on mute, and listen to us and our commentary about each and individual draft pick. We'll have in-depth reporting for each draftee.
We're going to give you the real deal, the truth, not this network sugar-coated garbage.
That's
This is
right.
real.
Those guys are paid to know or paid to say good things about these draft prospects. You know that. Deion Sanders being on stage, hugging everybody. That's not going to happen this year. It's just going to be us settle in with a nice IPA or a coffee or whatever your style is. We're going to have it. And we're going to have a special guest, one Javier Vasquez.
Yep.
Come on
It'll
down.
be at 8 o'clock at night. Cliff will have his Maxwell house.
It's so late for Maxwell House, man. I might need probably my pajamas. I might pull out my Buccaneer pajamas so I can go straight to bed when it's all over.
It's a little late, he says.
Looks like I'm good for the first pick till 8:15. Then I'm out.
I hope Javi's black Buccaneers Brady jersey
Oh,
has made it in time.
has it arrived yet, Hoff? Please respond.
No. Yes.
What's that?
Somebody went racing down the street.
Man, usually that's my house. I'm in my bedroom, so it can't be that.
No.
All right, gents. You want to sign off?
Yes, we are out for today.
All right.
Thursday
Man,
looking good.
We'll see you Thursday, 8 o'clock.
Thursday, 8 o'clock. Be there.